Gurgaon. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the beginning. This has just started and we still have a lot to discuss, a lot to deliberate. And on this note, let's move on to the next session of the day, which is the second plenary session. It is said that practice makes a man perfect, but best practices make the progress perfect. Although there is nothing called as perfect, but still, this panel is going to touch upon the best practices. So the panel is going to touch upon best practices in MHM, presentation and discussion by NGOs, organizations, and individuals. But before we dive into the panel discussion, right before that, I have to introduce to you somebody very special. She's our guest of honor for the third MHM India Summit. I would request the team Gramalaya to please honor and felicitate her as I call her on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so proud and privileged to have with us our guest of honor, Mrs. Preethi, IRS Additional Commissioner Income Tax Gurgaon. She is also known as the Pad Woman of North India, and today we are so fortunate to have her here with us. I now request Team Gramalaya to please honor her, welcome her, and we're so happy to have you here, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sparing out time from your busy schedule and joining us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, Mrs. Preethi. Ma'am, we would request you to please join us in this panel. And now, I would now request our panelists to join us. This next panel is going to touch upon best practices in MHM presentation and discussions by NGOs, organizations, and individuals. I would start with calling on stage the panel head for this panel discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. P.K. Rajput, former Senior Vice President, Cadila Pharmaceuticals Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a seasoned professional with more than 40 years of experience. He has been on the faculty list of so many reputed colleges. He has set up many divisions year after year and 40 plus years of service to his name. To join us on the panel, can I now have on stage Ms. Preethi Damodaran, Organizing Secretary, MHM Director, Gramalaya. Let's welcome her with a huge round of applause. To join them on the panel, can I now have on stage Mrs. Gouree Manjarekar, founder, Pankh India Foundation. And last but not the least, to join them on the panel, I welcome Ms. Ganga Nandini, Director, Project Implementation and Communication. Can I please have you up the stage? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this completes this panel for the second plenary session of the day. And please give it up for this wonderful, sparkling panel that we have with us here today. Well, the session duration is 45 minutes, and I would now hand it over to the panel head, Dr. P.K. Rajput. Sir, over to you.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful way of hosting this session. So please give a big hand to her. Right. So very, very good afternoon to all the eminent personalities here in front of me and the great people sitting here on the dais. I must feel privileged and blessed to be a part of such a wonderful third summit of MHM. And I must thank Damodar sir for inviting me. For the first time I'm attending it, but at the same time the intent is very, very high because this is a very important forum. Because being a person from pharmaceutical industry, at the same time being a person from an advisory board for multiple institutions, colleges, schools, it is very important to highlight about it. And today, since morning, I keep on learning and how it can be further incorporated. I have met a couple of good people here. They have given the suggestions, and I'll be in touch with you for the future as well, because there's a lot of scope is there to build India, the wonderful nation, and especially for this menstrual cycle part, which is very, very important. Before I should proceed, I would request our guest of honor, Madam Amanpreet, who is the IRS and Additional Commissioner Income Tax, to have her words of wisdom. So, Madam, I will request you please come here.
Thank you, sir. A very good afternoon, everybody. As sir said that very powerful people are sitting on the dais, but I was seeing, sir, equally powerful people are sitting on that side also. So, my heartiest congratulations to Gramalaya, Damodaran ji, for organizing this beautiful, beautiful summit. And I think the initiative which you have taken, it will inspire many of us to come on this side and to share our experiences, because never ever this has happened that I have seen so many pad men and pad women sitting under one roof together. Many congratulations to each and every one of you who have indeed broken the taboos, and I think that is the reason that we all are sitting here and speaking and listening to the topic which till date was considered to be a taboo. I was sitting with ma'am, and we were discussing about our experiences, and I told that people think that it would be very easy for me as a bureaucrat to talk on this topic, and since I belong to income tax, so people fear of me also, and they say कि okay, madam के सामने तो जो madam बोल रही हैं मान लेते हैं, and people think that जो ये बोलेगी तो लोग उसको सुनेंगे भी, people will listen to what she will say, but believe me, it is equally tough for me also to talk about menstrual health, to talk about menstruation. And as I told Ganga ma'am के कई बार मुझे जाके जब मैं जाती हूँ तो पीछे से आवाज़ आती है कि ज़्यादा पढ़ लिख गई है ना, दिमाग खराब हो गया. So I have handled such things also, and I am still handling those. So let me share, wherever I go, I share my experiences again. Like I belong to a Punjab, I belong to Ludhiana. So the first time I got my periods, I really thought I had got cancer. And this was happening since, because even if my mother she was subbed in jail, and I belong to a privileged family, I had many options to know about this topic. But then again, I belong to that place कि जब क्लास में जब ये टॉपिक डिस्कस होता था तो बायो की मैम वो चैप्टर स्किप कर देती थी, विच वुड हैव हैपेंड विद मैनी ऑफ यू. बहुत सी कॉमन चीज़ें जो हम सबके साथ हुई होंगी. जब क्लास में स्टेन लग जाता था तो सारी फ्रेंड्स आती थी, चौक के साथ रब करने लग जाती थी. All these things, these are very common things which has happened to many of us girls. क्लास में लड़के मजाक भी उड़ाते थे. Then I was state level hockey player, तो वो चीज़ें भी मैंने इनकाउंटर की कि जब कोच से डांट पड़ती थी कि आज अच्छा परफॉर्म क्यों नहीं कर रही हो. एंड नेवर एवर आई वॉज एबल टू टेल हिम कि सर टुडे फॉर कैन आई गेट अ ब्रेक फॉर 3 days, और मुझे ये प्रॉब्लम है. क्योंकि हम सोचते ही थे कि ये प्रॉब्लम है. एंड येस, दैट वाज अ टाइम आई यूज्ड टू थिंक कि व्हाई आई वाज मेड अ वुमन. बट देन थिंग्स स्टार्टेड चेंजिंग. So many things happened, and then COVID happened. So what we did in COVID was that I organized, various NGOs came up when everybody was distributing food and other supplies. So we took an initiative to distribute sanitary pads. And that initiative became pan-India. We went with the help of bureaucrats, with the help of friends, with the help of many like you. Surbhi is here. So with the help of her, she was also part of us. She is part of us. So we took this initiative and took to 18 Indian states and catered to 21 lakh women. And all these 21 lakh women were provided free sanitary pads, which was very tough that time, because at that time people were actually donating for food, and there were some people who were saying कि किस गंदी चीज़ के लिए हमसे पैसे मांग रहे हो. So that was the toughest of the time that we faced, but then we have come out of it. Many of us have earned name during COVID. Many of us are COVID warriors. And I think after COVID also, this journey should not stop. And today, with the help of Damodaran ji, with the help of Gramalaya, this MHM summit has happened. And I wish, let this be a new beginning on menstrual health and hygiene. My best wishes to each and every one of you. You can take my number, you can take my mail ID, and I'm always there to reach out to people who are really working, genuinely working for this cause. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amanpreet ma'am, for your words of wisdom. And you said it's a new beginning. Yes, in fact, on the very first half, Dr. Geeta has said this thing, that we are 240 people here, and we are going to make the 2 million. So the new beginning has already started, and it has been there. So it has been there in the mind. I'll also like to recapitalize the morning session, which the 3 beautiful, wonderful panel members, they have spoken. And Mr. Neeraj Jain was the panel head. So Geeta ma'am has told about the MHM policy, which is very, very important. And Bharti Singh Chauhan madam has talked about her experiences and best practices and her words of wisdom for message to the UN as well. She was talking about that part. And Mr. Vinod Mishra has spoken about how to bridge up the gap. So with this, now we are going to the next level, which is very important. And that's the reason our moderator, our host has said that this session is going to be a power-packed session. And yes, we have one of the most powerful personality who has seen her mother and father doing the things and building the things at the age of 19. And she has devoted herself for this beautiful, wonderful cause. Yes, she is none other than the daughter of our Padman sir, which is sitting here. So please give a big hand to Preethi Damodaran. Let me tell about the Preethi, right? It's my pleasure to tell. So I'm getting goosebumps about telling about her. I'm sure when you listen about her, you will feel very happy what kind of work she is doing and how much she is dedicated to make the things happen. So Preethi is the director of Gramalaya aims at providing sustainable sanitation solutions in the menstrual hygiene management, securing her university level ranking for outstanding performance in the business management studies. She joined Gramalaya when she was just 19 years young, not old, young, and co-founded GeoCare reusable cloth pads along with her father, Padma Shri Sri Damodaran sir, right? And of course, mother is also there because she's the backbone, so you cannot avoid her, right? As the MHM director of the Gramalaya, she has provided menstruation awareness education to more than 18,65,000 of the women and adolescent girls in 6 southern states of India and helped 1,72,000 menstruators to make the switch to eco-friendly reusable cloth pads through social marketing. Give a big hand to her. By manufacturing and selling little more reusable cloth pad, more than 60 deserving women are provided with employment opportunities. Her vision is very clear, goal is very clear, to educate, to empower, and to eradicate women for all menstruation-related health issues. Just now what Kiran ma'am has said about it. So she is already there in that, and she is putting her steps, because we always say that the journey of 100 miles, it starts with the very first step, and already the steps have been taken, the multiple steps have been taken, and we can visualize that, yes, how the things we are talking about in the coming time, maybe in the 10 years of the time, the things are going to be in a very, very rosy picture. Today, what I was listening about it, that lot many constraints are there, that constraints is going to get over in the coming time. So now over to Preethi for her wonderful presentation. I'm sure you will really like her presentation. So over to you, Preethi, now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the beautiful introduction. A very good evening to all. Can I have a written? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, okay. So I am going to make a presentation about initiatives of Gramalaya. So I will share what are the works done by Gramalaya in the sector of menstrual hygiene management, and it's highly recommended you to replicate it in your place. So we are going to see the presentation in the next slides. Next. So as we all know, Gramalaya was started in the year of 1987 by the Padma Shri Mr. S. Damodaran with his friends with the aim of with the aim of providing sustainable sanitation solutions in water, sanitation, personal hygiene. And in 2016, we have expanded it to menstrual hygiene and nutrition. So this is the aim of Gramalaya, starting the Gramalaya Foundation. And then next. So this is our founder. As we all know about it, we will skip to the next slide. Then. So in the year of 2022 March, our president gave the Padma Shri award to Mr. Damodaran. Congratulations once again for that. Next. So this is our vision. So vision of Gramalaya envisions a society in which all people will have equal rights and access to protected water, sanitation, health, and improved income status without any discrimination. This is our vision. So the mission is we are working for that. Next. So these are our core values. And then next. So these are our guiding principles. You can clearly see over there. So these are our theme intervention areas. So the first theme intervention area is safe drinking water. The second one is clean toilets. The third one is personal hygiene. The fourth one is menstrual hygiene management. And the fifth one is nutrition. Next. So these are our, we all are aware of Sustainable Development Goals. These are the Sustainable Development Goals in which we work, in which Gramalaya is contributing. So next. So this is the outreach of our organization over the years. So totally we have impacted around 43 lakh people over the past 35 years. Next. So Gramalaya. So I will just simply share a story about how this all started. So in the year of 2016, when we got an opportunity to construct toilets in the schools of Puducherry, it is in the South India. So when we got the opportunity to construct the school toilets, we noticed that no toilet, has proper facilities to dispose the menstrual hygiene products, which the used menstrual hygiene products. So even you can. Most of you have experienced this. Students will dispose the menstrual used sanitary napkin in their window. They will simply keep it in the window or some other places, or they will flush it into the toilet. So the school management team said, we are getting so many expenses to unclog the toilet, outlets. So and then we got deeper into the menstrual hygiene management issues of the adolescent girls. We also noticed that absenteeism rate and dropout rate of the school was very high, because in South India they have a practice when a school girl attain her puberty, they will simply stop her from going to the school. They will stop her. They will make her to stay at home because they think she has grown up enough, and they will make her stay home. So we have noticed there's so many problems surrounding menstrual hygiene management. That was the moment we got the enlightenment that we should work on menstrual hygiene management to improve the lives of all the menstruators. So I will share what are the initiatives in the next slides. Next. So this is our vision on menstrual hygiene management. Our ultimate vision is to make every woman and adolescent girl in India aware of menstrual hygiene management. This is our vision. So mission is the steps we are taking. So the first step is we are promoting reusable cloth pads and eco-friendly menstrual hygiene products for the adolescent girls and women to use. And then we are also improving the livelihood and dignity of women by providing them employment opportunity. And then we are educating, empowering women from all menstruation-related hygiene problems and make them, make their lives better. Next. So this is the comprehensive Washman approach followed by Gramalaya. So Washman approach is nothing but a comprehensive approach which includes water, sanitation, hygiene, menstrual hygiene, and nutrition. Altogether, these things are executed in a comprehensive manner. So in this comprehensive Washman approach, we provide them wash facilities, that is water, sanitation, and toilet facilities to the menstruator, and we also provide them, access to water, soaps, and what are the basic needs they have to manage their menstruation. We will also help them to get the access to the menstrual hygiene products. And then we will, last but not least, we will also provide them education about the importance of nutrition. We all know how much, how much adolescent girls are affected by anemia and low iron rate in their body. So we also help them to overcome anemia and other health issues. We will make them suggestion to improve their nutritional aspects and everything. So this is the comprehensive Watchman approach. And in the next slide, I will share how we are, what are the activities we are undertaking in this approach. Next. So I think these are the essential elements that positively impacts the menstrual hygiene management program. First, we have to provide education. Education means literacy about menstruation. Menstruation is a basic right, as we know. Everyone ought to know about menstrual hygiene management. As Madam said in her talk, she said she thought she got cancer when she got her first period. Similarly, I thought in the same way. I think most of us have imagined like this. So even though we are in a privileged background, we are not aware of menstruation, which is a normal activity which is happening in our body. So I think education is at most important thing that should be provided to the adolescent girls, and we have to provide education about first menstruation. They should be aware of how to handle their first menstruation. If a girl get her period during her school days, she have to be aware how to handle that and everything. So, and then is the behavior change communication. We talked a lot about that in the morning. So we do this through our IEC materials and other activities. And then we provide safety and privacy for the menstruators to change their sanitary napkin and meet all their menstrual hygiene needs. And then we will provide accessibility and affordability to the menstrual hygiene products. Through the concept of social marketing, we are promoting eco-friendly reusable cloth pads to the women and adolescent girls who cannot afford disposable pads in a long run. So we are also doing that. And then we not only we promote reusable cloth pads, waste management is a big issue. We also help them to learn about proper disposal system of disposing their used soiled napkins or other menstrual hygiene products. So we are providing incinerator facilities and other facilities in the toilets we are constructing. Apart from that, we are working on the policies and taxation and everything, and also in the workplaces, institutions and everything, we are working on that. And apart from that, these are the initiatives of Gramalaya. Next. So this is the individual household toilet which we have constructed in South India. So far we have constructed around 6 lakh individual household toilet, which provided dignity and privacy to the women and the menstruator. In a big term, it's a menstruators. And then next. So we also construct and renovate all the community toilets, which is not in usable condition or user-friendly condition. We convert these abandoned or damaged toilets to a period-friendly toilet. So this will be having a facility to dispose their napkins. Also, it will be having a display of IEC material, information, education, and communication material. That will also be drawn on the wall. In the wall, they can learn what is the proper way to dispose the menstrual products and everything. Next. So also we construct girl-friendly school toilet complexes. These school toilet complexes, mostly we have seen it will be having only the urinals for the girls to urinate. Sometimes they will just dispose the pads over there. We can see blood stains so many times in the urinals. But what we have done is we are also providing them separate toilets. In separate toilet, they have the door and lock facility and every facility to manage their menstruation in a safe and hygienic way. Next. So we are providing education through the IEC materials and various activities. Next. So this is our participatory rural approach. This is a beautiful approach in which we convince a whole village or a community to convert into reusable cloth pads. So reusable cloth pads, and also we innovate them to construct their toilets at their home. So in this concept, we will gather all the villagers in a common place of their village. We will make them draw, you can see in the floor, they will make drawings of their household. They will do the village mapping, and then they will identify the spots where they dispose their napkins currently. So once they identify the spots where they dispose their napkins, we will take them to that spots and make them see. Make all the men, women, adults and everyone to see what we are doing. We are polluting the environment and it is not hygienic to dispose it like throwing it away. And they will see, the dogs will tear up and eat their sanitary napkins and everything. And then after this participatory rural approach, they will mostly convinced to switch over to another eco-friendly menstrual hygiene product. This is a beautiful approach. Next. So this is a focus group discussion. In this focus group discussion, we will be having a set of people who are from same community, and it will be like group discussion led by our trained health educator. They will educate people about their menstrual cycle, and then they will educate about their what menstrual hygiene issues will come if it is poorly managed, and they will teach them how to, what are the best practices to be followed during their menstruation and everything. These small focus group discussion have high impact on people. Next. So we also provide one-to-one interaction. We go to door-to-door visits for homes, and for all the homes, we will give them education through our flip charts and everything. We will show them the image of how to dispose pads and use pads and how to maintain them, how to wash them, how to dry them. We will give them informed decision. We will not force them to use particularly cloth pads, but we will show them all the alternatives that are available to the people. So we will show them menstrual cups, we will show them sanitary napkins, we will show them cloth pads, we will show them cloth. But we will explain them how to use them properly. We will explain the advantage and disadvantage of everything and make them make their own decision. Next. So we also use snake and ladder and other game materials, game-based material. In that game material, normally we play snake and ladder. No, in snake and ladder, if we follow bad practices, the snake will bite and it will come down to the tail of the snake. Similarly, we have, if a girl is disposing a pad, it will be placed on the mouth of the snake and it will pollute the environment on the tail. So while playing the game, they will eventually understand what are the good and bad practices that is to be followed and that is to be avoided. Next. So we also give them, if we have the facility of smart classes, we will display the videos and posters to them for easily understanding. Teenage girls are very, easily understand interactive posters and everything. Next, so we also make small presentations to the target people. And then, next, we also do TOT programs in which we all know teachers are the change agent of the community. So change should start from who will, we say children are the future pillar of the nation, and they are spending most of their time with their teachers. So when we educate teachers about good menstrual hygiene management practices, they will teach to their students. That is how the change is happening in our programs, and we provide training of trainers program to the teachers and other change agents of the society. And then we also conduct mass awareness campaign like Red Spot campaign and everything to, in a mass public, we will randomly go and educate people about awareness about menstrual hygiene management, and we also try to break the taboo of not speaking about this. Next. And then we will conduct workshops in various clubs. We know Rotary clubs, Lion clubs, and everything is there. We will conduct workshops during our free time and make them aware of this importance of this menstrual hygiene management. And many of the Rotary club are donating reusable cloth pad and eco-friendly menstrual hygiene product along with menstrual hygiene management. So this is a very good initiative by the clubs. Next. So we also do digital promotion. And then next. So we promote reusable reusable cloth pads. Next. So you can see the stall of GeoCare right in the front of the stall. And then we all know I don't think I need to explain how much waste is produced by a person during her lifetime. One person will produce approximately 144 kilograms of menstrual hygiene waste during her lifetime if she is using 20 pads per month approximately. So you can imagine how many people are there in India and how many menstruating girls are in India and how much waste is produced. it's an important time that we should make the switch to eco-friendly products and make others to switch to. So that's why we are promoting reusable cloth pads in a deep manner. And then next. So not only we are promoting reusable cloth pad, we are also trained our women to make reusable cloth pad, and we also train women to sell this reusable cloth pad through social marketing. By this, we have provided employment opportunity to around 60 women in South India. And then next, COVID relief program. So we all know there was sudden lockdown announced during COVID, and most of them didn't got the access to buy the napkin, or some of them lost their jobs and didn't got the money to buy the napkins. Many CSR agencies and donor agencies came forward and helped us to donate reusable cloth pads to women. So we have donated around 45,000 reusable cloth pads during the period of COVID. It was in the year of 2019 to 2020. Next. So we also do distribution programs, free distribution of reusable cloth pads to rural women as well as urban women. Next. And this is Samagra Siksha. This is a scheme in Tamil Nadu where the educational department is involved. So we got this opportunity to train teachers. We have trained 11,500 teachers in Tamil Nadu to be aware of menstrual hygiene management. This helped them to spread the message to their students. So we have give them menstrual hygiene kits and educated them through online program, and then they disseminated the knowledge to their students. So that was the nature of this program. Next. So we also do donation to migrant workers and underprivileged people. Next. So this photo was taken in Spiti Valley, Himachal Pradesh. So in this, there is a nunnery in Himachal Pradesh where they don't have the economy to buy their menstrual products every month, because they have left everything and staying in the nunnery. They don't have the money to buy napkins again and again every month. So we got one volunteer from the Spiti Valley, and she has requested us to donate the cloth pads, and then we donated the cloth pads to them. And then this picture was turned out very beautiful when they start using the cloth pads, and we also got received their feedback from them. So it was a very beautiful program. And then we have our goodwill ambassadors all over India. We have 6 eminent personality all over India. So they're also helping us to spread the words about menstrual hygiene management. Next. So this was the next. Excuse me, next. So this was the first menstrual hygiene management summit. It was India's first menstrual hygiene management summit conducted in New Delhi by Gramalaya in the year of 2019. We had around 180 delegates, 180 participants, including speakers, and it was a very, like a powerful summit, and it motivated us to conduct again another summit in Chennai. So this photo was taken in the second MHM summit in Chennai, and today we are having our third MHM summit at New Delhi again. So we did this all, and we are not satisfied with what we have done. So what we did is, we made an entire village in Tamil Nadu to use reusable cloth pads. 100% all the menstruating women and adolescent girls are using reusable cloth pads only in this village. So there is no pollution. There is, randomly when we go to that village is called Etike Nagar. When we go to that village, firstly we saw napkins disposed in the ponds. When women go to bath inside the pond, they will simply pull the napkin and just throw it away inside the ponds. And then they will also have the habit of burning or burying the sanitary napkins for disposal. And then after this initiative, we made each and every menstruator in that village to switch to reusable cloth pads, and that village is now clean, green and beautiful. So this was our initiative, and we are not satisfied with that too. So we made around 80 villages in Tamil Nadu to as a sanitary napkin free village. So we can proudly say all this 80 villages are using reusable cloth pads and they are causing zero pollution. Waste-free environment, menstrual waste-free environment they have created, and Pudukkottai district in Tamil Nadu is declared as a role model district. This district has the population of 10 to 12 lakhs of people. In this 12 lakh people, around 7 lakh people are educated. They have literacy about menstrual hygiene management. They are highly aware of what are the good practices to be followed during their menstruation. So this is a very proud thing we would like to share with you. And then we are not happy with that too. The moment we got the real happiness is when we got the feedback from this girl. So this girl on the left is called Velayammal. She is from Tamil Nadu. She is a mentally challenged girl. And when we met her, her mom was crying. She said, my daughter didn't know anything. Okay, she don't have any knowledge about anything, but she know what is right for her body. My daughter is not using sanitary napkin, she is following free bleeding. That means that girl is sitting on her wheelchair or on the floor and she will just bleed without any menstrual hygiene product. But we asked the reason why she is doing so, and the mom said, she can only sit for long hours, she can't do anything else. So when she sits for long hour with the same sanitary napkin, disposable pad, she will get burned, her private parts will get burned. That girl didn't know how to express it to her mom. When the issue became, bigger, her mom realized, and she was, literally cried in front of us. We don't know how to encourage her, and then we introduced them the reusable cloth pads. That girl don't know anything, but she know this is not right for her body. She know this is not the right way to handle her menstruation. And then when we gave the reusable cloth pad to her, she started using it. After then that, when her mom tries to make her use sanitary napkin, she pull it off and ask for the cloth pads. So this was the purest form of feedback we have got, and this beautiful appreciation is encouraging us to work more for the cause. Next. So similarly, in Trichy, we have Spastic Society. This is a place where mentally and physically challenged adolescent girls and everyone will stay over here. We have distributed reusable cloth pads with some of our supporters from Australia. So we have distributed reusable cloth pads to them, and their feedback is very good too. So, yeah, next. So our ultimate aim is to educate, empower, and emancipate women from all menstruation-related health issues and make sustainable menstrual products affordable and accessible to everyone in India. So thank you so much, everyone, for this beautiful opportunity. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Preethi, for informing. Such a wonderful work has been done by Gramalaya. And I was able to observe the wonderful faces of lot many personalities sitting here. Somebody was clicking the photograph, somebody was writing, somebody was seeing the things. So it means that everybody was resonating with each other because everybody is doing some work, right? And it is not that people are not doing the work, but people were just endorsing the thing which you keep on telling that these are the things are there. And madam is nodding the head, I can make it out, yes, yes. Because that endorsement is $1 million endorsement which is there, which is very, very important, that this is the shortest step which we have taken and a long way to go. And I was very happy when madam was clicking the photographs and all. So it gives a lot of encouragement that yes, if you are doing some work, somebody is appreciating you, and at the same time somebody is doing also thing which is very, very important for the person. You have summarized the thing which you said about it. You take care for the 17 SDG goals. You said about it, life improvement cycle. You said you are educating all the literate and the illiterate students, to mothers and everybody, and the handicapped people also. And you also said that the Samagra Shiksha which is there, becoming a goodwill ambassador. So I was saying that it is becoming Andromeda, of the galaxy of the Andromeda. Lot many things are there. So you are becoming like a star which is twinkling in the galaxy of the Andromeda. So with this, I want to give a big hand to this young girl. So and what she said about it, there's a long way to go. There's a long way to go. वो पुरानी एक हिंदी में कहानी वो याद आ गई मुझे. अभी तुम्हें आपको तो नदियाँ मिली हैं. अभी समुद्र की तरफ जो है ध्यान लगाओ. टूट जाते हैं शीशे पत्थरों की चोट से, तुम ऐसा शीशा बन के दिखाओ जो कि पत्थर ही टूट जाए तुम्हारी चोट से. So that is the thing which is there, which you are making the things which is very, very important. Now, I like to go for the second person, which is again, because I remember when Sir is coming from Tamil Nadu, so immediately when it comes to Tamil Nadu, a person name comes in my mind, which is the most respectable person, Sir APJ Abdul Kalam, because he comes from a very, very small family, humble family, Rameshwaram, right? But it doesn't mean that you come from which place, which part of the India, but it makes a difference that what is your vision and what is your mission and what you want to contribute, how you become more responsible for the country. Yes, we have one other very young, talented person, and her name is Mrs. Gouree Manjarekar, founder of Pankh India Foundation. She is coming from a very small place because since I have covered entire India and multiple countries of the world, so I understand. She said about it that Chikkodi is a border of Belgaum and Karnataka, and you can say near to Belgaum. But it doesn't mean the amount of work she is doing. I'm going to tell about it here. Gouree is a postgraduate in computer application. She was a university rank holder in her degree and a college topper in post-graduation. She worked as a software engineer in Mindtree Technologies, Bangalore. She is the founder of Pankh India Foundation and Pankh Handicraft and worked for empowering rural women and children from past 14 years. Pankh has impacted the lives of more than 2,500 rural women and children so far. She has been actively working for menstrual hygiene management project for rural women. Gouree Manjarekar is a TEDx speaker as well. In 2019, February, she was awarded at Indian Women Excellence and Leadership Award in the category of NGO and Rural Entrepreneurship at the Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi by the Commerce and Industry Ministry by Sri Suresh Babu. This was supported by Make in India, Startup India program. Many things are there. If I start reading it, it's a lot more. So I would request Gouree to please come here and to have your presentation. So please give a big hand to Gouree.
Everybody, first of all, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this amazing summit and allowing me and giving me an opportunity to speak about our work on MHM in rural India. Next. Now, from past few years, discussions about menstruation have finally come out. They have slowly crawled out from the bedroom doors and have come to mainstream discussions. All thanks to people like you, organizers like you and Gramalaya, we are getting an opportunity to talk about it, to discuss about our problems, to discuss about what we face during our work in MHM. But it is, whatever are the little, success stories which are there, they are still very much linked to urban population, and a lot of work yet has to be done in rural India. So today I would like to share a few stories and few hindrances which I as an individual faced during working in the rural community, and I would like to be the voice of all these rural women over here, so that might be the discussions, over the discussions we can come up with a lot of solutions as well. So now the challenges faced by girls and women in rural India. Now, I am a computer engineer, like Sir told, and I was working in Bangalore. But when I decided to, work for rural women, I thought that the best way to do that is by going in the rural India and settling in rural India. So I stay in Chikkodi, which is a very small place in Karnataka. And when I started visiting, these girls and women in rural population, the challenges which they face, especially in MHM, menstrual hygiene management, are far beyond what we can even imagine. Now these challenges which they face are emotional challenges, psychological challenges, social challenges. These are challenges which, there are challenges because of which they cannot have any mobility also. And these challenges are at individual level, they are at social level and institutional level as well. Next. Next, please. Okay. So one of the factors behind the challenges is deep-seated social gender construct. Now, everybody present here in the hall today, we are all educated. We come from, educated families. We know the importance of education. But when I started working with the poorest of poor, it was very sad to know that education was still considered as a privilege for many girls. Now, government has provided, Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao Yojana, and many girls are being enrolled in schools just because they get that one-time meal and because they get some free ration. But girls are not regular to the schools. Girls, are dropping out from the schools because of menstrual-related problems. And it is just 10th standard after which these girls stay at home with their mothers and ultimately they get married. Because there is a very deep-seated social gender construct. It is a male-dominated society still in rural places. Not just male-dominated, I would say, but women do not have a voice. They cannot come out and speak also in rural India. Next, please. Now, menstruation is still considered a taboo, not just in rural, but still in few urban places as well. Now, because of the religious beliefs which are there, deep-rooted beliefs which are there in all these women and girls, there are a lot of myths and taboos related to menstruation. And because of which, girls especially and women from rural parts, they have a lot of prohibitions. They cannot eat with other members when they are menstruating. They have to stay separately when they are menstruating. They cannot have mobility. They cannot move outside the houses during menstruation. So these are all taboos which are associated with menstruation in rural India. Now this particular picture, there is a story behind this picture. I and few of our volunteers visited a very, very small place. This was a place of rag pickers. And we wanted to do awareness session in this particular place that's called as Jyoti Nagar, full of rag pickers. When we went there and when we spoke to them that we want to talk about menstruation, understand your issues, we were literally told to get out of that place. There were a few male people behind, and they are not there in the picture. But yes, we were literally thrown out of that place. That was the first visit which happened in this Jyoti Nagar slum. I will come to that story again. But it was very difficult even to go and talk to them about menstruation. Even speaking about it is considered a taboo there. Next, please. Then, of course, no access to menstrual products because, when women are there from economically weaker backgrounds, they do not have enough money to purchase menstrual products which are available in the market, one thing. Second thing, when girls are going to schools and they are getting these menstrual products in schools, unfortunately, the products are not up to the mark. They are not very comfortable using those products, so they do not use those products. So there is no access to good quality menstrual products in rural India still. Next, please. So then there are unhygienic methods, like, it was discussed even earlier. What they do is they use these places like small ponds and small rivers where they go and dump everything. And then you might not believe me, but they use ashes. They use rag cloths, which you would not even clean your floor with. But these are the things which are being used in rural India still. So unhygienic methods, of course, are being used. Cloth is being used. Cloth is not unhygienic per se, but of course, because of the taboo associated with the menstruation, they do not wash it in open, they do not dry it. And because the cloth remains damp, they get a lot of problems due to this unhygienic methods. Next. Now, water and sanitation. This is another major issue. Now, there are a lot of public toilets available because of government in rural places, but unfortunately, these toilets do not have water. So when there is no water, girls, they do not have access to water. Once in 8 days, water comes to these places, then you can imagine how can they remain hygienic during menstruation. They cannot wash their clothes, they cannot wash their private parts during menstruation, and that is a major issue because of which rural women are facing a lot of problem. And second thing is the public toilets which are there. They are not handled properly because, few of them who are using use and throw pads, these pads are dumped in the public toilets, and because of which, even Safai Karmacharis are facing a lot of problem because the toilets get clogged, and then ultimately the toilets are closed and nobody uses them. So this is another major issue which has been there in rural India. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah. Okay. So let me continue, yeah. Yeah, toilet got blocked, probably, yeah. Yeah, so water and sanitation is another important issue which is there. And because of all these reasons, girls are skipping their schools. Girls don't go to schools, and girls are skipping the schools because of this problems which they are facing. We'll just wait for 1-2 minutes. Okay, just play the slide. Schools during the periods, of course, because they are not comfortable. Second thing is they are not allowed to go outside the houses when they are menstruating because of the taboo associated with it. Next, please. Now, how we decided to address the challenges. Now, there's a very interesting thing which I would like to share here. From 2008, when we started working, for rural women and children. Now, Pankh India Foundation is working for empowering rural women, uplifting rural women and children from past 14 years. But we were more focused on education-related initiatives, more focused on skill-related initiatives until 2018, when we were fortunate to meet a few gynecologists who told us that, yes, switching to sustainable practices, menstrual practices, was the need of the hour. So we decided to, make a lot of R&D about this reusable pads, and we started making these reusable pads within the community itself. And I was fortunate to be a part of the first MHM summit which happened here in Delhi in 2019. And that was like an eye-opener for me because I was very new in this entire thing, what was there. I happened to meet a lot of people, interacted with them, got a lot of ideas. And so these 4 years have been phenomenal because of the support I got from Gramalaya in 2019. So a big round of applause, I think, for all of us present here. A wonderful platform for interactions, for networking, I must say. Next. So what we decided to do now, if you remember the last photo I had shared, they did not allow us. Rural people, in fact, are not very open about speaking about menstruation. So what we did is we started interacting with them and breaking the ice. This is the same place which we visited first. This is the second visit which happened. So what we told them is we have brought some things for you which we want to give you. And that is how we decided to enter into that area. So they were very happy to get things, so we could finally enter into that area and start speaking about menstruation. So I remember there was no place where we could go and interact. Then I saw a small temple with a shed kind of thing. So I asked them that we can go there and talk about it. That was another hush-hush. You shouldn't be going near the temple to talk about it. So ultimately, we got a small place where we decided to talk about menstruation, about their problems related to menstruation in this particular place. Next, please. Yeah, just 2 more minutes.
Yes, we need to close the session in next 10 minutes.
Sure. So another important point which I would say is, now talking, in the first session we have spoken that we have to talk about menstruation with men. We have to talk about menstruation, of course, with women. But there is one intergenerational gap which is there. Because these myths and taboos are passed from older generations to the next generation. So we thought that, yes, we should also involve older people about talking on menstruation. Next, please. And then, of course, next, awareness sessions which were there in schools, colleges. And then, like Gramalaya, we thought that we are already there into skill training. We thought of making reusable pads. Next. And employment generation initiatives with reusable pads for rural women. Next. And then we now have 20 women with us in making these reusable pads. Next. And then, of course, switching to sustainable practices was easier because we were making it in-house. Reusable pads was made in-house. Next. And then the school sessions and colleges sessions also involved boys. Rural boys were involved in the sessions, and making them also aware about menstruation was important. And then reaching the unreached, smaller communities, smaller places. Next. And giving period packets free of cost. We do not sell the reusable cloth pads, but we distribute it free of cost to the rural population again. And this one is from Bangladesh. Okay, so you can see the place now and the interaction which was done after a few more visits. Women started getting even more vocal about menstruation. Next. Challenges which we faced, this can be discussed in the upcoming sessions. The major challenge which our foundation faced was getting the CSR funding. I think one question was raised in the first session as well. How do you convince for the CSR to switch to these reusables? Because they are, funds is something which they don't want to invest in reusables. So how do you do that? That is one thing which we are still struggling with. Next. And what we have received over these years, of course, in the first session it was asked that how are you going to reach those masses? So these people are going to be vocal about it. So one person trains 5 people, 5 trains another 5 people, and we can reach masses only when we can connect with these people at ground level. So with that, I think I will close down the session. Thank you so much for patiently listening. Thank you.
Further polling, I would request, please once again give a big hand to her, right, for her presentation. Now we have Miss Ganga Nandini. She was born and raised in Los Angeles, California, and she completed her graduate degree from California University, bachelor degree with molecular cell biology. She is inspired by H.S. Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswati ji, and she is a Shishya of Sadhvi Bhagwati Saraswati ji. Right, so Ganga Nandini is a youth leader who has recognized the immense power of faith and serves as the director for implementation. I would request Ganga Nandini to please show her video, right, and carry on for this part, right.
So we have a networking break, correct? Everybody is okay for 5-10 minutes more? Everybody raise your hand who's okay for 5-10 minutes more? Wonderful. So we can wait 5-10 minutes. Thank you. My name is Ganga Nandini, and I am representing Global Interfaith Wash Alliance, Paramatniketan Rishikesh. I think a lot of the beautiful presentations that have happened already, and I've been very privileged to be on this panel with my esteemed panelists. There is similar actions that we're doing as an organization, whether it's bringing in menstrual hygiene pads, making sanitary napkins, working in schools, empowering women. But I wanted to actually focus on my session on something that is different from the rest of us, because I think we've all heard, and it's very similar in that way. But I think as faith leaders, because my Guruji, Pujya Swami Chidanand Saraswati Ji Maharaj, and Sadhvi Bhagwati Ji, who were supposed to be here, but they're traveling abroad, they believed, what is the quickest way to make the change that is required? If we all know what the problem is, right? We have lack of access to sanitary napkins, of course that is a problem. But the main problem that we've discussed on many panels, including the panel just before this, is the stigma around it, is the silence around it. जो चुप्पी है उसको कैसे तोड़ी जाए? वो चुप्पी को तोड़ने के लिए क्या सबसे फास्टेस्ट तरीका है? वो हमारे संतों ने ये रियलाइज किया कि क्यों ना हम संतों के जो प्लेटफॉर्म्स होती हैं, जो कथा होती हैं, जो प्रवचन होती है, उनमें महावारी के बारे में बात किया जाए. वो अगर हम वहाँ पे ऐसे स्तर पे जो बहुत पवित्र माने जाते हैं, चाहे वो गंगा जी के तट के हो, चाहे वो कथा के तट पे हो, जहाँ पे राम जी का रामचरितमानस का पाठ हो रहा है, वहाँ पे हम महावारी स्वच्छता प्रबंधन के लिए बात कर रहे हैं, तो देयर कैन बी अ शिफ्ट वी कैन अचीव क्विकर. सो आई वांटेड टू जस्ट क्विकली शो 2 शॉर्ट वीडियोस. एक जो गंगा आरती, कितने लोग ऋषिकेश गए हैं? Wonderful. Paramatniketan की आरती की है? Still wonderful, wonderful. There's a lot. And those who have not, we welcome you. Come, welcome home. So, Aarti ke dauran, we realize that the Aarti is a beautiful platform where people are already open to change, right? So, in those Aartis, we put in these messages. So, there's an example of Pujya Sadhvi Bhagwati Saraswati Ji and her message in the Aarti, and I wanted you to see that, to experience what that messaging is like. So, bhaiya, play kariyega. हमारे गोल्डी जी वहाँ पे बैठे हुए हैं. साध्वी जी के मैसेज.
मंदिर में जाके चाहे माँ दुर्गा, चाहे माँ सरस्वती, चाहे माँ लक्ष्मी, हम माँ की पूजा करते हैं, लेकिन फिर अपनी सिस्टर्स, मदर्स, डॉटर्स इतनी कम सोचते हैं about their life and what they go through every month. भारत में करीब 70%, 70% of लड़कियां भारत में menstruation के बारे में तभी सीखते हैं जब उनकी menstrual period शुरू होता. अब आप सोचिएगा कितनी डर लगता होगा, कितनी संकोच, कितनी शर्म, उनको मालूम नहीं है क्या हो रहा है। और फिर शुरू करने के बाद करीब 23 मिलियन लड़कियां, 23 मिलियन गर्ल्स, इसका मतलब 2 करोड़ से ज़्यादा लड़कियां ड्रॉप आउट ऑफ स्कूल जाना बंद करते when they start menstruating. Why? केवल एजुकेशन की कमी की वजह से और एक्सेस की कमी की वजह से वो सीखते नहीं कि करें क्या, कैसे करें, how to keep ourselves safe, clean, hygienic. या उनकी स्कूल में कोई टॉयलेट नहीं होगा या टॉयलेट के ऊपर कोई दरवाजा नहीं होगा जिसमें वो अपने बारे में अपने को ठीक से साफ रख सकते हैं। हम लोग देवी को मानने वाले लोग देवी को मानते हैं। मंदिर में जाके चाहे माँ दुर्गा, चाहे माँ सरस्वती, चाहे माँ लक्ष्मी।
So this is now replaying. So the idea is, this was one example. We'll show you one other really quick 1-minute example. कि कैसे आरती के दौरान this message has been incorporated. We have big LED screens in the aarti also, so those also play messages, but people are receptive, right? And that stigma immediately is burst. There's another example, second wala video, in the Ram Katha, 1 month long Ram Katha, in which Pujya Swamiji is speaking about breaking the silence around ministration.
मासिक राम कथा में पहली बार मुझे नहीं लगता है कि कहीं भी मासिक राम कथा हो और मासिक धर्म की बात को उठाया गया हो। ये एक आश्चर्य लगेगा, मासिक राम कथा और मासिक धर्म। मुझे लगता है कि अगर आपको पूरे राष्ट्र को शक्तिशाली राष्ट्र बनाना हो, सफल राष्ट्र बनाना हो, उसके लिए सफल माँ चाहिए। अगर सफल माँ होगी तो सफल संतान होगी, शक्तिशाली संतान होगी तो स्वस्थ समाज होगा, और स्वस्थ गर्भ बनाने के लिए माँ को स्वस्थ बनाना होगा। हम संकल्प लेंगे कि एक एक बेटी, एक एक माँ, एक एक बहू कथा से जाकर बेटी बेटी को जगाए, माँ माँ को जगाए, और हाथ खड़े करके हम एक संकल्प ले रहे हैं। आज हम अपने परिवारों में अपनी बेटियों को जगाएंगे, बताएंगे, समझाएंगे और एक नए स्वस्थ समाज का निर्माण करेंगे। भारत माता की
जय।
मासिक राम कथा।
So the idea is कैसे through this faith-based messaging we can make a change. One last 2-minute video I wanted to play क्योंकि समय की कमी की वजह से I want you to listen and see the change rather than just hear me. तो वो last वाला video play करिएगा गोरी भाई.
In order to break the silence and bring this vital conversation to the mainstream, the Global Interfaith Wash Alliance has joined the Sanitation Hygiene Fund to create MHM labs where informed, scientific and open conversations around menstruation can take place in a safe space. Since its inception, the mobile and tented MHM lab was presented at prominent events in an effort to bring this otherwise taboo topic
So we
to the
brought these
mainstream
MHM
conversation.
labs, which
Jiva
are
and
spaces in which we
WSCC
speak about
brought it to the
ministration
Pankh
during the
camp,
Kumbh Mela,
giving a strong
in the
message
Kumbh
that
Mela,
menstruation
so
is
that
not
we can
impure
bring
or dirty,
more
but
accessibility to this
inspiring and divine,
conversation.
with prominent women and men faith leaders coming together alongside
And this
other
was the
change
first
makers.
time that
The
in the
message
Kumbh
was
Mela
loud
we
and
brought
clear
together the
that
most number of
menstruation
faith
can no
leaders,
longer
the
be
female
treated
faith
as a
leaders,
pain,
male
but
faith
a
leaders
boon.
to speak about
This
ministration
natural
in the Kumbh
biological
Mela.
process is the reason we have human creation, and hence it is not to be cursed but to be celebrated. But when faith endorses a change in behavior, that leaves a lasting impact.
मंथली तो एक नेचुरल प्रोसेस है, यदि मंथली नहीं होता तो दुनिया में कोई पुरुष ही पैदा नहीं होता.
The initiative received the blessings of
And
prominent
that
faith
became
leaders
the headline
such
for
as
Times
His
of India
Holiness
the next
Dalai
day.
Lama, alongside many prominent interfaith leaders at the Gandhi Ashram on the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. The MHM lab was prominently present during the Leave No One Behind summit at Parmarthaniketan Rishikesh in December 2019. It was one of the first consultations on Sustainable Development Goal 6 with 14 vulnerable groups for India's voluntary national review. During the two-day consultations, an MHM lab had also been set up on the site to initiate dialogue and break the silence around menstruation. The MHM lab now is a regular feature in most Jiva activities. Jiva strives to ensure that we don't just pray to the Divine Feminine on our altars, but provide for her in our homes, schools, and in our world, ensuring that we have an environment in which they can not only survive, but truly thrive. Because a healthy and empowered woman is the very foundation of a healthy and empowered nation.
So the idea is, if we really want to normalize this conversation, we need to normalize our approach as well. So how can we bring ministerial hygiene management, this conversation that is very taboo, to the mainstream? And so we thought, well, जो हम करते हैं, हम festivals करते हैं, हम कथाएं करते हैं, हम उसी में क्यों ना इसको लेके आए? क्योंकि जब हम उसे normalize करेंगे तो naturally there will be a wave of change which will have to inevitably lead to a more positive thinking. And I have to say, this group who has been sitting here, all of you have been such an inspiration. It has been an absolute privilege to meet all of you, and for you to sit here, take out your time to speak about ministration, it means that there is a change. There is a change in our society. We are more willing to speak about this, and we just need to keep moving with that. So with that, I'll just end with one short, quick mantra so that we can recharge ourselves. Everybody is still with me? Yes? Let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. And you can repeat the mantra with me or just continue to watch your breath. It's a short mantra. It means lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from untruth to truth. Lead us from death to immortality. Aseto ma sadegamaya tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. सभी साथ में Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right, you have touched the heart of everybody, and we will not take much of the time now. On the behalf of Gramalaya and on the behalf of Damodaran sir, Madam Damodaran and Preethi, I would like to thank you, Madam, for being our guest of honor. And I really want to thank all the three wonderful panelists for making it so wonderful. So please give a big hand to them. And we are closing this session, right? So over to Madam, to you, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much. Indeed, it has been a wonderful session where we got to know so many insights about the best practices. I would now request Team Gramalaya to felicitate our panel head for the panel session, Dr. P.K. Rajput, former Senior Vice President, Cadila Pharma Limited. I'd request Team Gramalaya to please do the honors. It has been incredibly moderated by you. Thank you. I would now request Team Gramalaya to felicitate Ms. Preethi Damodaran, Organizing Secretary, MHM Director, Gramalaya. I'd now request Team Gramalaya to felicitate Mrs. Gouree Manjarekar, founder, Pankh India Foundation. And last but not the least, I would request the team to felicitate Ms. Ganga Nandini, Director, Project Implementation and Communication, जिन्होंने हम सबको बहुत खूबसूरत ये बात कही कि जो चुप्पी है उसे तोड़नी होगी और उसे तोड़ना होगा कि कैसे तोड़ा जाए. And a healthy woman is the foundation to an empowered nation. Incredibly well said. Thank you so much. Okay. जी रुद्राक्ष का पौधा ये ऋषिकेश से ऑल द वे लेके आए हैं फॉर मिस्टर दामोदरन. Thank you so much. And